This is actually wild. This comes to us from Colin Rugg. It says, Mets announcers Gary Cohen and Todd Zeile mind blown that Matt Shaw would skip a game to attend his close friend Charlie Kirk's memorial. Think about that for a second. Let's actually, before I even read this more, let's just listen to the conversation they have. Because holy crap, this is really bad.
In a row, Matt Shaw leads off for the Cubs. He had a base hit his first time up. Shaw had Cubs World in a tizzy this weekend when he was not here for the Cubs game with the Reds.
So I gotta be really careful because it's MLB to make sure that this is totally copyright not struck. But they do the lead in like it's totally normal. Like, yeah, a little bit odd. We didn't know. They didn't tell anyone why he was missing the game.
Game they lost 1-0, and in which his lack of presence was felt. It was later revealed that he had been given permission to attend Charlie Kirk's funeral.
Again, totally normal so far. Nothing to be concerned about. They're just explaining the story. They're like, yep, a game that they could have used him, but he was attending one of his best friend's funerals. Oh, okay. And
I don't want to talk about any of the politics of it, but the thought of leaving your team in the middle of a race for any reason other than a family emergency really strikes me as weird.
And there you go. The thought of leaving your team during the heat of a race strikes me as weird. What a piece of shit. What an absolute piece of shit. Being like, oh, you honoring and celebrating and going to pay homage to your one of your best friends. Fuck that. You can do that on your own time. You're in the middle of a pennant race, bro. So bad.
It's unusual, I think.
And the worst part is the other dude jumps in and he agrees with him. I don't want to talk politics, but it's weird. And then the other guy, it's unusual. Is it? I've been watching sports my whole life. It's not unusual at all for people to miss a game, no matter when it is, if someone very close to them dies. What are we talking about right now?
It's unprecedented, at least from my experience.
It's unprecedented now to go to a funeral if you're in the middle of a pennant race. By the way, he got approval from his manager and his team to leave.
As a player, and I think it made it a little bit more unusual that it was not revealed until after it came to issue.
So they're saying it was unusual that it wasn't revealed before he left. Why is that unusual? They're in the middle of a pennant race. They probably didn't want drama. They're probably like, yeah, just go take care of your business. Come on back. They didn't want to announce it because of the politics surrounding the situation. Why would they announce that first? Why is it your business to know that? Who cares?
Because he was thought to be in the dugout and maybe available and then was not, and that's how it was revealed. So it became maybe more of a story than it could have been.
No, it's becoming more of a story than it could have been because of you guys right now, because of how you're talking about it. This is not even a story. The only story is how you guys are acting in the reaction to it.
Had it been addressed from the beginning.
Shaw strikes out to start.
They're holding back the crazy. They absolutely are. You know they want to go crazy and say wild shit right now. But they're like, can't do that. We're on the air. So we'll just say it's weird. It's like, no, it's not weird. We know what you're thinking.
Do you think the fact that he's a rookie changes the equation at all? That makes it more or less egregious?
As I said, I think that's something that would certainly be unusual during my era. But then again, there was no paternity leave. There was no bereavement leave when I played at all.
That's bullshit, by the way. Players throughout history for all sports, whenever something like this happened, they would leave. I mean, maternity or paternity leave is a different situation, obviously, but you would still leave to attend the birth of your child, bro. These guys, such hacks. After they did it, it's like, well, back in my day, that we didn't pay attention to anything. We just cared about baseball. Like, come on, bro.
Showed up.
Yeah, and they won't stop talking about it either.
And, just found a way to get through work, but that has changed. That has changed.
Well, but
it has not changed. These guys just forget what it was like when they were playing.
I thought it was telling that the reason that they didn't tell anybody and that they had to play a man short was that the situation did not qualify for baseball's bereavement list.
Bereavement is direct.
Got to be family. So
right?
I think,
yeah, but he got approval from his team to supersede what the rules were. And what's the problem here?
That in and of itself gives you a clue as to how it was received by a lot of people.
Sounds to me like you're the only one with an issue. These guys, these Mets broadcasters, absolutely insane. Colin Rugg continues saying, the thought of leaving your team in the middle of a race for any reason other than a family emergency really strikes me as weird. What's weird is how there are two grown men who think a single baseball game is more important than honoring the life of a close friend and fellow believer. Not to mention, this is a moment in human history that's going to be remembered for hundreds of years. This will be looked back upon. It is a massive moment. And these guys are just like, oh, it's weird. Fuck out of here, bro. This can't be real. From the U.S. Sun, rest in peace. It was a rough day. Emotional New York Mets broadcaster Gary Cohen absent after death of beloved family member. I like how up here it says family member, which, don't get me wrong, Dexter is definitely a member of our family, but it's kind of weird to not have the headline say dog. So he's burying the lead. Cohen missed last Friday's home game against St. Louis Cardinals, as reporter Steve Gelbs filled in for him. The next day, 66-year-old MLB broadcast legend Cohen returned to his usual duties for Saturday's game alongside Keith Hernandez and Ron Darling. During the third inning, Cohen shared that he said goodbye to his family dog, a Great Dane, which is why he was absent. I want to thank you guys and Steve for doing such a great job covering for me on Friday night, Cohen said. It was a rough day for my wife, Lynn, and I. We had to say goodbye to our beloved Lily, who passed away at the age of 13. The broadcast then showed pictures of Cohen's dog as the announcer opened up about Lily. Cohen continued saying, Great Danes are only supposed to live 6 to 8 years. She gave us so much pleasure for so far beyond that. She was a sweet, gentle soul. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but you guys get the idea. If it wasn't for double standards, lefty lunatics would have no standards at all. And I love the part where they're saying, oh, we don't want to make this about politics. When everybody listening listens a little bit closer, they all know damn well what they're talking about. That is insane. I did not see this. The fact that this guy could go on the air and say this shit, let's say it again.
Matt Shaw leads off for the Cubs.
It's weird.
For this weekend when he was not here for the Cubs game with the Reds. Game they lost 1-0, and in which his lack of presence was felt.
Where is
later revealed that he had been, and I don't want to talk about any of the politics of it, but the thought of leaving your team in the middle of a race for any reason other than a family emergency really strikes me as weird.
Okay, so apparently what qualifies as a family emergency for Gary Cohen is his dog that was ancient, 13 years old, passing, is a family emergency to miss a night of broadcasting. But the baseball player can't go to the ceremony for a Charlie Kirk. That's you can't make this shit up. That's crazy. I guess I'll leave that one there.